Hello and welcome. Today we're going to review the DRL Drone Racing League Race Vision 220 FPV Pro by Nico Air or Toy State. Now the package comes in this big cool looking box here with the Drone Racing League theme on it. It has a little Velcro attachment there, so you can open it up and see a diagram of the quadcopter and the transmitter and all the accessories that it has. You can even see right through the box there the plastic mold of all the components held in there, and the back, and it just looks really cool with all the features laid out. So let's open this up and check out what's inside. So once you open the box, here are essentially all the items inside. Of course, you have the drone. You have an SD card that it comes with right here, 4 gig SD card that it comes with, and you have 8 AA batteries, the transmitter, the FPV goggles, the FPV screen, a micro USB cable, additional propellers, the 500 milliamp 7.4 volt battery for the quadcopter, and a little mount for the transmitter where you can hold the FPV screen. So you have 2 options. You can either hold the FPV screen on the controller or have it in your FPV goggle holder and fly it true FPV style. And then of course you have these alternate thumbstick end tips here, so you can choose, you can choose whether you have these type of thumbsticks or these flat ones. And then last but not least, you have your instruction manuals. Now going into the quadcopter itself, it's sharp looking quadcopter. It's not too heavy, but it is substantial. It's well constructed with a sturdy yet flexible plastic. So this can crash a bit and sustain a few heavy crashes. It has a adjustable camera here that you can change the angle at which it shoots. And the camera's I don't believe it's HD. It's probably SD, standard definition, but it has low latency, so that is a good factor for when doing FPV flying. It takes this, you snap the 7.4 volt 500 milliamp battery down here, and then it has this release switch here to release the battery, and then you turn it on here, and you'll see this blinking light here at the bottom. That means that the quadcopter is not bound. You would turn on the transmitter, and you'll notice that the light changes its shine. And then to bind it, you just simply take the throttle and then go up, down once, and that should bind it. Now I believe it's shining like this because like oscillating like this because it's low on battery. But once you bind it, it will stay steady. Now if you don't provide inputs to the quadcopter within a few seconds, it will lose its binding and you have to rebind it. I figure it does that to maintain its power supply, because this only does get about 5 or 6 minutes worth of flight. So it tries to be efficient that way. There is a port here for the micro USB, and that's how you actually charge the battery. You plug in the micro USB here, and then you plug in the other end either to a PC or an adapter, and a wall adapter, and then you can plug it in an outlet, and then that's how you charge the battery. And the battery does take a little while to charge. I'd say definitely over an hour. And then there's this on-off switch here where you can turn on and off the quadcopter. Depending on the mode that you have this in, you'll see this light change different colors. One mode it's blue, FPV mode is green, so on and so forth. So this light here is capable of changing a couple of different colors, blue, green. Now, if you want to record, the quadcopter itself does not actually take an SD card when it uses this camera here. It's actually recorded like a DVR on the FPV screen, and the FPV screen is pretty sophisticated. It has, well, let's turn it on here. It has the logo of the company there. It has the battery power there. This does have 5 channels that you can, I believe it's 4 or 5 channels that you can switch to. If you have multiple, let's say you're racing with your friends, each racer could have their own channel so that the FPV signal doesn't interfere. So there's not too many channels, and so that's denoted here on the corner here. I think it's a number from 1 to 3. See, 4, channel 5, channel 6, and then this is channel 3. So this is a channel change, the on-off button, and then you have your modes button. This is to toggle the color, the brightness, the color, so on and so forth. And then you have this plus and minus here to actually, change, increase or decrease each of those parameters. And then last but not least, you have your photo or record button. So I believe if you short press it, it takes a picture, and if you long press it, it records, and then it takes the SD card here on the bottom, right there. And then here's the screw and mount if you want to put it on top of the transmitter right here. You see, it basically screws in here on the top here. Now when you put this screen on the transmitter, I found that it is a little clunky, but it does surprisingly work fairly well with the FPV goggles. It snaps in very well. The FPV goggles do have a magnifying glass in there to make the display look sharper, and it feels pretty comfortable. At first you would think that it's kind of heavy because it takes 4 AA batteries in there, and you would think that it would be kind of heavy to hold it, but you get used to it after a while. So the straps are very comfortable. So the FPV system here, as you can see here, is not too bad. The transmitter is pretty straightforward. You have your power button here, your throttle. Since this is not an altitude hold quadcopter, it's not spring loaded. Now here's your rudder. Here are your modes. You've got easy mode, Nico mode, then you've got intermediate, and then you've got advanced, so you can change those modes. And then you've got your speed or rates, which is the slowest and then the fastest. And the interesting thing about this transmitter is that it vibrates, so that's pretty cool. It gives you a little feedback there as to when you're changing modes or when things are taking place. You've got a trim mode here where if you push this A button, you'll feel some vibration, and at that point you can trim your throttle and rudder, and then push it again to save the changes. Then you've got flip buttons, on the top. And you've got another mode button here, a B mode button there, you know, to switch between FPV mode and just regular racing mode. So those are basically the controls there. Now overall, this is a neat, fast flyer. They advertise this as having a top speed of around 25 miles an hour. So it is very fast. You know, it is a sturdy, sharp-looking drone. You know, with its propeller guards, and you know, it's lightweight yet substantial frame. It is packed with features, and the set does come with a lot of accessories here and different options. I believe you could also plug in the micro USB here and into a PC, and I think with some software you could actually even adjust some of the parameters on this drone, you know, such as pitch and you know, and other parameters there to adjust its flight characteristics. I also believe there's an app in the app stores for, you know, a DRL app, so that you can run a simulator. It's probably somewhat of like a game style simulation, but you can, I believe you can use your transmitter and actually virtually fly using the transmitter as well, to get some practice for beginners. It will take some, it will have a bit of a learning curve, because this is a truly manual drone. There is no GPS on it. It doesn't have brushless motors. It doesn't have altitude hold. You know, it's a raw racing drone. So you slowly have to just practice, use the virtual simulator, put this on the beginner modes here, you know, to really start getting the hang of it, and fly it slowly at first to get a feel for it, you know, for yawing and you know, throttle management, and position management and orientation. And once you master all those skills, you know, you can really put this thing to its limits. But overall, it gets the job done. It's a fun, fast flyer, and you know, for those of you comfortable with you know, drone flying and are maybe at intermediate level or above, you'll definitely enjoy flying this around. So